Welcome to the deep dive. Okay, when we talk about the world's great wine regions, your mind probably jumps straight to France, maybe Italy, the New World.
Usual suspects. Yeah.
Exactly. But today we're actually skipping those familiar spots and, well, we're going right back to the source. We're talking about Greece,
hmm
a country that isn't just, the cradle of Western civilization, but maybe the literal origin of the vine itself.
That's right. We're really diving deep into a winemaking history that stretches back, 6,500 years? It's incredible.
Wow.
And this wasn't just like basic farming. It was deeply tied into their culture, the worship of Dionysus, and it was a massive part there of ancient trade across the Mediterranean.
Right, they were shipping wine in those clay amphoras way before the Romans even got going.
Millennia before.
That history is amazing. But let's be real for a second. For decades, if someone said Greek wine, what did people think of?
Probably bulk production, or maybe just Red Sea.
Right, that pine resin wine. So our mission today is to kind of unpack the real story of Greek wine, its incredibly fragmented geography, those amazing, 300 plus native grapes?
Over 300 autochthonous varieties, yeah. It's a treasure trove.
And figure out why modern Greek wine is having such a huge renaissance right now.
And that renaissance, it really comes down to a shift from focusing just on volume to really understanding quality and identity.
Okay.
Before the 70s, maybe 80s, a lot of the wine was just, for local drinking or easy export. But then came modernization.
So better technology.
Partly, yeah. Things like temperature-controlled stainless steel tanks, absolutely crucial for making clean, aromatic white wines. But maybe even more important was setting up proper quality controls.
Like the appellation systems in France or Italy.
Exactly. The denomination of origin protected, or DOP system. This basically guarantees that a wine comes from a specific place, uses specific grapes, often those unique local ones, and reflects that origin.
Let's pause on those unique grapes. You said autochthonous. Can you just quickly explain what that means for someone maybe newer to wine terms?
Sure. Autochthonous just means the grapes are native to that place. They originated in Greece and evolved right there, perfectly adapting to the local climate and soil over centuries, millennia even.
So they weren't imported from somewhere else?
Nope. And because Greece is so mountainous and island-based, it acted like a sort of natural preserve for all this genetic diversity. It's a resource that's pretty much unmatched anywhere else. And it's why the wines taste so unique.
Okay, so let's get into this renaissance. And it seems like we have to start with the land itself. I mean, you look at a map of Greece, it's
That is a beautiful mess.
Yeah.
Yeah, that fragmentation is key. You've got over 2,000 islands, huge mountain ranges slicing through the mainland.
Right.
All of this creates an incredible variety of microclimates. You could probably find as much diversity there as you'd find across all of Italy or France, just packed into a smaller space.
So how do we simplify that? What are the main factors?
I think we can boil it down to maybe three main things: the altitude and climate differences, the big influence of the agency, and, crucially, the geology, the story told by the soil.
Okay, let's tackle climate first. Up north, say in Macedonia near the border, it's not the scorching Mediterranean heat you might picture, is it?
Not at all. It's much cooler, more continental up there.
Oh.
You've got the Pindus Mountains acting as a barrier.
Uh-huh, okay.
This means the grapes ripen much more slowly, and that's perfect for serious red grapes, like the big one, Genomavro. It lets them build up high acidity and those firm tannins they need for aging.
Okay, so slow and cool up north, then you contrast that with the southern islands like Santorini, super intense sun there. How do the vines cope? How do they avoid just getting baked and losing all their freshness?
Well, they have a couple of tricks. Altitude helps. Many vineyards are quite high up, even on the islands, which means cooler nights. That helps keep the acidity.
And the wind. I've heard about the meltemi wind.
Ah, yes, the meltemi. It's famous. These strong, dry winds sweep across the agent, especially in summer. They lower the temperature around the leaves, reduce humidity, which prevents disease, and critically, they help the grapes hang on to their tartaric acid.
And that acidity, that translates to flavor.
Definitely. It often gives the white wines this really appealing, subtle, salty or saline note. It's very characteristic.
Interesting. That salinity. The wind plays a part, but you mentioned geology. This is where it gets really fascinating, right? How does the actual rock and soil type shape the wine?
Oh, fundamentally.
Yeah.
It really defines the wine's personality. Take the Peloponnese region, lots of limestone there.
Okay.
Limestone holds water well, but also drains, stressing the vine just enough to concentrate the flavors. It tends to give wine structure, really bright acidity, and that sort of flinty, saline minerality. You can almost taste the rock.
And then up in Nyusa, where Xenomavro comes from, different soil.
Totally different. There you find more schist and granite. These soils tend to give the wines more finesse, maybe slightly softer, silkier tannins, even though they're still powerful.
But the absolute rock star, geologically speaking, has to be Santorini, right? That volcanic soil.
It's the defining feature. It's incredibly important. That soil is basically pumice, volcanic ash, bits of lava.
Sounds pretty harsh.
It is. It drains water incredibly fast. It's very poor in nutrients, but it's super rich in minerals. But here's the kicker, the really unique part.
Yeah.
That sandy, ashy composition,
Yeah.
it's resistant to phylloxera.
Wait, Phylloxera, the louse that wiped out almost all of Europe's vineyards in the 1800s? Santorini just dodged it.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
Because the lice can't survive or spread easily in that sandy volcanic soil. So what does that mean?
Old vines.
Extremely old vines. Many vineyards in Santorini are ungrafted. They're growing on their own original root systems, pre-phylloxera roots. Some of these vines are hundreds of years old. It's incredibly rare globally.
What?
And that contributes massively to the concentration and the authenticity you taste in the wines. It's like a living museum of viticulture.
Just thinking those vines survived because of the soil, that's incredible. Okay, so from this amazing terroir, let's talk whites, starting with the queen, the icon, Assyrtiko from Santorini.
Assyrtiko really is the modern star. It grows right there in those extreme volcanic conditions. And what's fascinating is its duality.
How so?
It gets perfectly ripe under that blazing sun, but somehow it keeps this incredibly high, piercing acidity. We're talking pH levels often down around 3.0, 3.1. That's super high acidity for such a warm place.
And what does that acidity feel like in the wine?
It gives it amazing structure, energy, a real backbone. If it's powerful, but also vibrant and mineral-driven. You get these complex notes, lemon zest, maybe passion fruit, white flowers, and always that intense salinity we talked about.
Sounds like it could age well.
Absolutely. It's often compared to high-quality Chablis or even dry German Riesling in its structure and aging potential.
And the way they grow it is unique too, right? That basket weaving thing.
Yeah. Yes. The traditional vine training is called kouloura. They literally weave the vine canes into a low-to-the-ground basket shape.
Why did they do that?
It's functional. It creates a little protected nest for the grape bunches inside, shielding them from the strong sun, the harsh winds, and the blowing volcanic sand. It's super labor-intensive, but vital.
And Assyrtiko isn't just dry, right? There's Vinsanto.
Ah, Vinsanto, the holy wine. It's a legendary sweet wine with a history tied to the island's religious past.
How's it made?
They take Assyrtiko grapes, sometimes blended with another local grape called Adani, and lay them out to dry in the sun for maybe 10 days, 2 weeks.
Concentrates everything.
Hugely. Sugars, flavors, acidity. Then it has to be aged in oak barrels for at least 2 years by law, but often much, much longer. It develops these deep amber colors and incredible layers of flavor. Caramel, dried figs, honey, coffee nuts, spice. Complex stuff.
Okay, moving off Santorini, over to the Peloponnese mainland. There's Phylloxera, that's more aromatic, right? And it likes the cold.
Exactly. It thrives in Mantinia, which is actually a high-altitude plateau, around 650 meters up. Yeah. That coolness is key to keeping its delicate aromas intact.
And it's a gris grape. What does that mean?
It means its skin has a sort of pinkish-gray color, not truly white.
Does that affect the wine?
It can. Winemakers sometimes give it a tiny bit of skin contact during fermentation. This helps extract more of those amazing aromas. It's really explosive, like rose petals, jasmine, citrus peel, maybe a hint of ginger. And that skin contact can give it a little extra texture and sometimes a faint coppery tinge. Really distinctive.
And quickly, two others representing this modern revival, Malagousia and Sabacciano.
Right. Malagousia is an amazing comeback story. It was almost extinct, literally rescued in the 80s. Now it's super popular, making these really aromatic, often medium-bodied whites with notes of peach, apricot, sometimes mint or basil, maybe chamomile. Very expressive.
And Sabacciano, that used to be just the Retsina grape, didn't it?
Mostly, yeah. It's the main grape in Attica, around Athens, and on the island of Evia. And look, modern Retsina can be really good. They use high-quality pine resin very subtly now, with clean fermentation. It's a sophisticated style.
But Sabacciano on its own, without the resin.
That's the revelation. Modern, non-resinated Sabacciano, especially from older vines or higher altitudes, can be fantastic. You get ripe yellow fruits like peach or mango, some Mediterranean herbs, and surprisingly good acidity. It's elegant, not just simple plonk anymore.
Okay, so we've got these vibrant aromatic whites. Let's shift gears to the reds, particularly those from the mainland, built for structure, built to last. Scinomavro has to be the starting point, the Nebbiolo of Greece.
It's a fair comparison, absolutely. Ginomavro's heartland is Narusa, on the slopes of Mount Vermio. It loves that cooler continental climate and the schist and granite soils we mentioned.
And the name, Shino Mavro.
It literally means acid black, which tells you a lot. High acidity, very firm, robust tannins, especially when young. These wines are absolutely designed for aging in the cellar.
What about the flavors? I've heard descriptions like dried tomato and black olive, which sound unusual for a fine red wine.
They are unusual, and that's part of its unique charm, why sommeliers get so excited about it. When it's young, it's more about sharp red fruits like sour cherry or plum. But give it a time,
Yeah.
and it develops this incredible savory complexity. Yes, dried tomato, black olive paste, but also things like licorice, leather, damp earth, even hints of truffle. Those savory notes emerge because the structure that high acid and tannin allows them to.
That dried tomato note, it sounds like it would be great with food.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
Especially with rich dishes. Think game meats, classic Greek moussaka, or those slow-cooked meat stews with tomato like stufato. It just clicks with those savory flavors.
And like Nebbiolo and Barolo, there are strict aging rules, right?
There are. The DOP regulations reflect its quality potential. A Reserva has to be aged at least 2 years total, with one of those years in oak barrels. And a Grande Reserva needs a minimum of 4 years total aging, with at least 18 months in oak. These are serious commitments.
Okay, heading south again, back to the Peloponnese. Nemea region and the grape Assyrtiko. You called it the versatile Merlot.
Yeah, it's incredibly versatile, and again, terroir, specifically altitude in Nemea, plays a huge role in the style.
How so?
Vineyards down on the lower valley floor tend to produce softer, fruitier, more immediately approachable wines. Think sort of Beaujolais-style Assyrtiko, ready to drink young.
But higher up.
Ah, the mid-slopes. That's where you get the concentration and structure for the more serious wines. Wines labeled Reserve, capable of aging for 10, 15 years, sometimes longer.
So it can make different styles?
Everything from really lovely, deep-colored rosés to full-bodied, structured reds. The aromas are usually in the red and black fruit spectrum: cherry, blackberry, often with notes of spice, maybe licorice. If it sees oak, you'll get vanilla and chocolate too.
And pairing-wise?
It's fantastic with lamb. A classic pairing with Greek roasted lamb arni. Also great with aged Greek cheeses like Graviera.
Okay, and one last red mention, the blend from Crete.
Right, the dynamic duo from Crete, and also found on roads. Concefaly and Mandalari. They work together.
How do they complement each other?
Concefaly brings the warmth of the body, alcohol, softer fruit, and spice notes. But Mandalari brings the muscle. It's got intense color, really quite robust, almost rustic tannins, and provides the structure for aging.
So one provides the flesh, the other the bones.
That's a good way to put it, yeah. Together, they create these really complex, interesting reds that are uniquely Cretan.
Okay, this has been an amazing journey through the grapes and the ground. If someone listening is now thinking, okay, I need to go experience this, what's the best way to plan a trip? How do you grasp this diversity?
I think the absolute best way is to contrast the extremes. You really need to experience the island terroir, specifically Santorini, with its volcanic uniqueness.
Right.
And then compare that directly with the continental mountain style, maybe up in Naousa, with Sinomavro. Seeing that difference firsthand just clicks everything into place about Greek wine diversity.
Makes sense. And when's the best time to go?
Well, for just nice weather and fewer crowds, spring, say, April to June is beautiful.
Okay.
But if you want to see the action, the harvest, the vendima as they call it, that's usually August through October. But be aware, the timing varies a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Assyrtiko in Santorini can be harvested super early, sometimes starting in early August, whereas Sinomavro up north might not be picked until late September or even October.
Good tip. And getting around, it sounds like you need a plan.
You definitely do. For the mainland wine routes, like Macedonia or the Peloponnese, you pretty much need a rental car. Wineries can be quite spread out in rural, sometimes mountainous areas.
And for the islands?
Ferries are the classic way, or short internal flights. Definitely book those in advance, especially in peak season.
Okay, maybe give us a few iconic winery names or experiences to get people started with their planning.
Sure. In Santorini, you almost have to visit Santa Wines. It's a big cooperative, very well set up for visitors, and the view from their terrace overlooking the caldera at sunset, it's breathtaking. Great place to start with Assyrtiko.
Okay, classic Santorini experience. Mainland.
Up north, Kyriani Estate is fantastic. They have vineyards in both Naousa and Amindian, really focused on high-quality Sinomavro, often in high-altitude sites. Great tours.
Near Thessaloniki.
Katima Gerovasiliou is a must-visit. Evangelist Giordosili is credited with saving Malagusia, remember. They have a wonderful
Right.
estate and a really impressive wine museum, too.
And for Assyrtiko down in Nemea.
Skoulas Winery is a great example of a modern, quality-focused producer. They do excellent work showcasing the different expressions of Assyrtiko depending on the vineyard altitude. Very educational.
Perfect. So wrapping this all up, what's the big takeaway here? What defines Greek wine today?
I think it's about authenticity, diversity, and honestly, resilience.
Yeah.
You have this amazing blend of ancient traditions, things like the kouloura baskets, those incredibly old, un-grafted vines surviving Phylloxera, combined with really sharp modern winemaking. They've shed that old reputation and are fully embracing what makes them unique.
So for the listener, knowing this helps you pick a bottle that really matches, say, Mediterranean food, or even plan a trip focused on specific flavors and places.
Exactly. It opens up a whole new world of wine that's deeply connected to its history and landscape.
It really does. Okay, this has been a fantastic deep dive, but I want to leave you, the listener, with one last thought to ponder, maybe over your next glass of Assyrtiko.
Mm-hmm.
Considering how Phylloxera just decimated vineyards across Europe, erasing potentially thousands of unique grape varieties and flavors, Greece, and especially Santorini, offers this living window into how vines grew and tasted thousands of years ago. It makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other ancient flavors, what other forgotten techniques might still be waiting to be rediscovered in those incredibly resilient, ancient, ungrafted vines?